So this brother that you see in the background asked a very profound question, and I hope that you all check out his video. I will tag him in the comments or post a link to his video in the comments. But basically, this brother asked, where is Dr. Umar Johnson? Where is Boyce Watkins? Where is Tariq Nasheed when it comes to Donald Trump? You know, all of those brothers had all this negative stuff to say about Democrats, all this negative stuff to say about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but they didn't have any smoke for Donald Trump. They gave Donald Trump basically a pass. And in fact, in many cases, some of these brothers were actually praising Donald Trump. I've seen videos of Dr. Umar Johnson, for instance, praising Donald Trump and being very soft when it comes to criticizing Donald Trump. But yet and still, these are the men that are so strong against white supremacy, so strong against racism. But when you have an opportunity to really speak up against real, obvious, and blatant racism, these people are, for the most part, silent. And when they're not silent, they're making excuses. They're rationalizing things. Like Tariq Nasheed basically downplaying the significance of DEI, downplaying the significance of Donald Trump taking all of these executive orders, trying to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion. This tells you what kind of people these people are. It tells you that they are not for real when it comes to black people. They're not about true black liberation and black empowerment. They're not really true opponents of white supremacy, because here you have a blatant and obvious example of racism and white supremacy, but yet and still these so-called brothers aren't really being vocal in their opposition to Donald Trump. Instead, they're making excuses for him. Instead, they're downplaying the real damage that Donald Trump is doing to the black community. And sadly, many of these brothers during the election cycle, they basically helped get this man in the White House by basically encouraging black people not to vote, basically suggesting that somehow your vote doesn't matter and that, both candidates are essentially the same. And that's pure nonsense. And we are reaping the poisonous fruit as a result of, the apathy that people like Boyce Watkins and Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson promoted in our black community. Instead of mobilizing and organizing the black vote to make a difference, these people basically encourage you to stay at home. And every campaign cycle, that Tariq Nasheed entertainer always promotes some Hold Your Vote campaign, which is nothing but a campaign to keep black people powerless. So you can't take these people seriously. These people are not black leaders. And instead of asking, where are these charlatans and clowns and race hustlers, where they are and what they have to say, we need to be using our voices to raise the issues that are important to us. Instead of looking for these online personalities to be the advocates that we want them to be, we need to become the advocates that we want to see on social media, instead of waiting around for these guys, because those guys are in it for the money. They are hustlers. They are not about black liberation and black empowerment. And that should be clear at this point.